Guys, in this video, we're going to talk about something that's helped me make a lot of money this cycle in crypto and something that I don't see everyone doing or using. It's a very powerful tool and I'm going to use it again next cycle with pretty much all of my investments. Everything I buy, I'm going to do exactly what we did this cycle. And what I did is when we got into an investment this cycle, we brought an asset. What I would do is I would go and track a lot of the key holders of that asset. So this cycle, for example, we bought Spec, and I was tracking the whales, the founders, like the first wallets who started moving money around, the largest institutions and funds, the smart money. I tagged all of their wallets. That means that I would get notified in real time if they ever moved any of their money. And this is something that I really love about crypto, because in the stocks world, you can't go and do that, right? You can't get notified when Nancy Pelosi goes and sells her stock, or when Bill Gates sells his stock or moves it to an exchange. We have such an advantage in crypto over the TradFi market, and this is one of the things I fell in love with, is tracking the insiders, tracking the smart money, tracking the institutions. And this is a classic case of saving an absolute fortune, which would have ended in a loss, right? Many people who held Spec all the way down, they listened to the Moon Boys saying buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, and they ended up pretty much losing all of their money. Where we were actually able to sell before everyone else, right? So how were we able to sell before everyone else? Well, clearly I posted here in my Discord, 21st of June 2024, sell alert Spec, some strange activity going down the deployer wallet. So obviously I was tracking the deployer wallet on Nansen. By the way, you can use the discount code SMC if you want to use Nansen, so you can get a discount on that. Great platform for tracking accounts and tracking smart money and insiders. You can even see the P&L that everyone made, right? So yeah, you can see I posted here some strange activity going down. Deployer wallet just sent 500k to Bybit, so this was brand new, right? I got notified in real time, and they sent it to Bybit to a hot wallet, right? And there's only usually one reason they're going to do that, is to dump on the market. But it was also the deployer wallet, which means that it was one of the team. It's likely one of the insiders or the team that actually started to dump. And I said, there's a lot of smart money still holding. One of the reasons I was in Spec is there was a lot of smart money actually holding the asset with quite strong confidence. And obviously we're in an AI narrative, but I was starting to see cracks from the inside on chain, right? And we wouldn't have been able to see that otherwise without Nansen. So lots of SMs still in and haven't sold, but maybe they haven't seen it, right? So we're super early to this. When I'm building my portfolio, so next cycle, I'm going to do the same thing. When I'm building my portfolio, I'll show you in Discord, actually. You can see down here, I have smart alerts. We don't have it right now because we've already taken profits from a lot of our portfolio, but there'll be a section called portfolio. And basically what I'll do is I'll track all of the insiders, all the team, all the smart money, all the institutions of each of my investments. So whatever asset I decide to make my main portfolio next cycle, I'll track all of the insiders. And every time they start to move money, I will get notified in real time, right? So if no one's moving any money, there's not really any need for me to go in and de-risk or sell, etc. You know, I'd like to buy in the bear market and hold into the bull run, as we've done with a lot of our assets this cycle. But if I start to see this kind of stuff, right, the insiders, the team sending large amounts of money all of a sudden to exchanges, that's a red flag for me, and I can actually de-risk. Now, what would have happened if I wasn't tracking in this high detail? I might have lost all my money, guys, right? If I wasn't tracking the insiders, if I couldn't see that the team were actively dumping the asset, I might have lost all my money. I mean, if you had $1,000 in at the time that I posted this back in June 2024, that $1,000 is now worth $20, guys, right? $1,000 to $20, absolutely disgusting. If you had $10,000 in, it would now be worth $202, so pretty much nothing. And $100,000, a lot of money, right, would be $2,000. Absolutely disgusting. And I don't like to think of this as, oh, I've lost $1,000, because I think I can 10x my portfolio next cycle, which means that I just lost $10,000, right? I didn't just lose $1,000, I lost $10,000. This is why preservation is so important and preservation is key. And this is why I think tracking investments in such high detail is a game changer, right? And if all of the team and the whales and the institutions are all holding, there's no reason for me to panic. But I can potentially sell before the majority. As I put here, most of the SMs still haven't sold. On my next post after this post in my Discord, we started to see some of the large smart money holders actually starting to sell, and then they all started to sell everything, right? So we got in after the founder sell. So after the team started to sell, we were the second batch to sell, and then the smart money started to sell, right? That's how active we've been in tracking some of these transactions. Now, then you have, not only would you have made a loss here, right? Because you weren't tracking the on-chain, you were just hoping that AI was going to pump, right? Everyone on socials, AI is going to pump. It's going to keep going up. It's going up in TradFi, so it's going to go up in crypto, right? So let's say you weren't tracking this on-chain. You didn't know the team and the insiders and the smart money were all getting out. You wouldn't have known any different, right? And you would have thought, this KOL on socials is an expert. This KOL on Twitter is an expert. They're telling me just to buy the dip, right? They're telling me, it's just a dip. Congratulations, you can now get it at a cheaper price. So let's say your 1K came down 50%. So it had a 50% crash here. And everyone's saying, buy the dip. AI is going to be the next best thing. And then it done this, right? So now your 1K went to $500. It's come down another 50%. It's now $250. Now, don't forget, guys, it ended up being worth $20, right? So it just done this and this and this. So if you bought the dip here, whatever you put in here, let's say you put another 1K in here, it's down 50% within a week, right? It's down 50% within a week. And then that 1K is down 50% in a week. So do you see how dangerous buying the dip is under this crazy altcoin season is coming, right? Altcoin season's coming, it's coming. It's a very dangerous game, guys. And if you're not analyzing on chain, if you're not looking at what the smart money are doing, what the team are doing, the insiders, you put yourself in a very risky position. And there's been multiple assets that I've sold this cycle, including Pepe. Let's have a look at Pepe. Yeah, you can see here, look, 12th of January 2025. It wasn't just Pepe. I actually sold a lot of my meme coins. I'm seeing on chain, I'm seeing some big red flags on meme coins. We'll do a video soon. I've sold 70% of my Pepe. We're up around 10x. It's a lot. So yeah, I was seeing the same sort of thing with Pepe. I saw loads of funds all start to sell Pepe at the same time. And then I saw a lot of smart money wallets starting to sell as well. And shortly after that, meme coins pretty much collapsed. So when was that post? That was the 12th of January. And if we go and have a look at Pepe, so it's around here. It's literally here. It's almost the top of Pepe, right? It was almost the top of that pump. And I don't think the funds and the smart money are stupid. I think they realized that this is the final pump before we go into a bear market. And I don't think a lot of people anticipated that, right? This is where we sold a lot of our crypto too. And a lot of people were waiting for Q4 2025. But the smart money aren't going to sit around and hope that we all sell together in Q4, right? We're all going to get rich. Coinbase said altcoin season's going to come at Christmas. We're all going to be rich. The smart money are actually going to dump on you before that happens, right? They're not going to sit and wait. They're going to sell before the actual event. And then you still get a lot of sell pressure around Q4, right? For those people that held on to hope. But yeah, we definitely did get front run on altcoins this cycle. And most meme coins crashed here. If you go and look back through some of the different meme coins, this was kind of the top for meme coins. And it was pretty big, guys. I mean, the market cap went to $10 billion. And it's a picture of a frog. It's a picture of a frog that does absolutely nothing. And we got in down here, right? So buying the bear market when everything's going sideways, when everything's boring, everyone is saying crypto is dead. That's where I get bullish, guys. People say to me, "Oh, why aren't you bullish? I think we're gonna have QE. I'm just waiting for that bear market. That's all I'm waiting for. That's worked for me so far. We've smashed 2 cycles. We've smashed this cycle. I plan to smash the next cycle, and it's by not listening to everyone saying, Q4 is going to be pumping. Why did I sell early, guys? Because everyone was expected to get rich in Q4. I could see on chain the smart money was selling and getting out. It's not going to be easy, but these tools really do help us. And without these tools, I think I would have taken some real big hits. Maybe I would have held things a little bit longer, especially spec. But when I see the team are selling, I'm out. I have to get out. If the team can't hold, how can you expect me to hold and other holders to hold? The target to get break even is just 50x on spec. That's crazy. Another thing they say is DCA, 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 and then you dollar cost average in, you dollar cost average in. The chart looks like this, right? So you DCA'd here, you bought the dip, you bought the dip, you bought the dip, you bought the dip. Now you're down, I don't know, 95%, 98%. And you now need a 50x just to get back to your entry price, right? Just to get back to where you put your 1K in. You need a 50x return. That means if I go and put 100K into spec, I'm going to have made $5 million, right? I'm going to have made $5 million if it done a 50x. And I'm not going to hold it to $5 million, right? I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it at what? 500K, $500,000. I'm going to sell it at 600K. So now you have to get through all of this sell pressure, sell pressure, sell pressure. And when the chart looks like this, do you know how hard it is to get back to all-time highs? Maybe next cycle. But I mean, I haven't done a deep dive on spec, guys, so I wouldn't even go there. Let's have a look. Volume, what? 1 million, crazy. What was the market cap of this? 244 million market cap, now 2 million. Crazy. I probably would never touch this, especially as the team sold, right? How are you going to go and buy something where the insiders just dumped and the project melted? So yeah, be very careful, guys. I know DCA works in TradFi, and I actually do dollar cost average things in TradFi, and I'm planning to dollar cost average things. Low risk assets, right, with billion-dollar market caps and real teams and real people. Crypto, in my opinion, there can be instances where I DCA. There can be instances, but most of the time I'm getting in early in the bear market and I'm looking to sell only. I'm not looking to DCA in a bull run. Why would I DCA in a bull run? Why wouldn't I have DCA'd in the bear market? Why would I DCA when historically everything's going to come down 99%? Everything comes down 99%. Does that make any sense to you? To dollar cost average into assets that come down 99%. The game is to get early, ride the euphoria, and take profits when everyone is frothing at the mouth. Everyone is saying it's just the start. This is it. It's just the start. This is going to go to 50 billion, 100 billion. And you're up 10x, right? It's a lot of money. Also, don't be greedy. Pigs get slaughtered. You put 1K into Pepe when we got in Pepe. You made $10,000. Congratulations, right? You only need to do that one more time next cycle, and that 10K is 100K. Just 2 trades. 2 trades, you turn 1K into 100K. Just 2 trades. It's really quite straightforward when you zoom out. But pigs get slaughtered. They DCA. It's not easy when everyone on socials is going, buy the dip, buy the dip. A lot of them need exit liquidity, guys, right? They need exit liquidity. Some people decided to sell spec late, right? We sold at, $6 or something. Some people needed exit liquidity at $2.50. Look at this fake pump they had down here. They had a fake pump down here for exit liquidity. They probably spread some news or something, and then it came down to 65 cents in no time. So yeah, be very careful. This is going to happen again next cycle, guys. We're going to get these pumps. We're going to get these dumps. Meme coins are going to rally again, and they're going to go up to stupid market caps, and everyone's going to be saying this is it, meme coin super cycle. We're going to 100 billion market cap and this and that. And hey, nobody knows where the top is going to be, right? I've probably said at some point, hey, who knows? Maybe it can go to 50 billion. Maybe it can go to 100 billion. All I know is I've made a 10x, and that was my target. And I can see on chain that the insiders are getting out, right? So now we don't even have to guess. We also done this on Render, right? One of the reasons I started to sell Render at $12.30, you can see here, sold 30% of my Render to USDC for the exit bag. I'll not be spending this USDC on new altcoins. So another important rule, I don't put my profits back into altcoins. Why would I do that in a bull run when everything's just pumped 25x, 20x? I want to be buying when crypto's dead, right? I want to be putting this altcoins back when everyone is saying crypto's finished and it's over. And one of the reasons we started to take profits from Render is we could see the insiders were taking profits. Look at the realized P&L on Render. This wallet made 7 million, 6 million, 5 million, 4 million, 3 million. everyone says, oh, no one made money this cycle, or is this the worst cycle ever? And no one made any money. I see a different story on chain. I see a lot of accounts that actually made a lot of money this cycle, and they were selling at the right time. They were buying at the right time, and they were selling at the right time, and just happened to be the top of the market. It just happened to be the top of the market. So these are the accounts that I'm going to be following next cycle. I'm going to be taking profits when the insiders and the teams take profits. I'm going to be obviously doing my own macro analysis and my own analysis. But the on-chain data has been phenomenal. The on-chain, I don't know if I'd even trade crypto without doing the on-chain, right? And next cycle, I'm going to do it even more in depth, right? When we start to build the portfolio next cycle, I'm going to have a whole portfolio section in the Discord, and I want to really go into depth with each asset that we have. So maybe, like, let's say we buy Asta, for example. I might have a folder under the Asta investment that says, funds. So all of the funds that are holding Asta, I can see we can see all of their transactions in real time. Maybe all of the whales, right? The largest whales, I can see all of their transactions in real time. The smart money, right? The people who are consistently making profits, I can see all of their transactions in real time. I really want to make it advanced, especially with our larger holdings, right? Our largest holdings, I want to be in depth, because for me, this is make or break, right? Imagine having, let's say you put, $1,000 in Asta, I don't know what you called it. Let's say you put $1,000 in there. I think it could potentially 50x from the bear market, guys, right? From the bear market to the next bull run. So that would be 50K. And let's say your bag is up 50K, but you think it's going to go higher, right? You get sucked into this euphoria. Everyone's saying higher, higher, higher. Trump's going to do a Bitcoin reserve. You get sucked in and you forget how much money you've just made, right? And this is the hardest part about crypto. It's selling and actually taking profits. It sounds crazy, but it is the hardest part of crypto. It's actually taking profits. And I've had to plead sometimes for people to take profits, and they just knew better, right? They were like, I think we're going higher. I'm like, okay, I can't do any more. So it's the hardest thing to do. But let's say you're up 50K, and your greedy brain is saying, let's sell at 75. We're not far. It's going to go to 75K. And then you see on chain that the insiders started to sell. Then it makes it a lot easier to sell, right? Because if now CZ or let's say the team are starting to sell some of the tokens that were locked, it makes it so much easier to sell. And I'm almost like, when I see the team selling, I'm like, I'm selling everything. I'm out. And yeah, it's a really powerful tool. And I don't think enough people are using it. And I'm really gonna capitalize on it next cycle with deep folders on every investment. I don't know how big my portfolio is going to be next cycle, but the main assets that I want to get, I'm pretty much sure about the main ones I want to get. I'm just not sure on the other couple of narratives. But I think as we get closer into a bear market, you'll have like a deeper understanding of where the market's going, what narratives are going to run. Yeah. So really, really cool. Are you guys using Nansen? What do you think about it? I think it's really powerful, and I think it's been great this cycle. I mean, I definitely wouldn't have sold Pepe here without it. I might have sold it a little bit later. I probably would have had like a trailing stop loss, right? I wouldn't have held it all the way down. How much is that now? It's like 1.7 billion. It was like 10 billion market cap. So that's almost down 90% already. That's crazy. Yeah, guys, unfortunately, I don't think this is coming back. I think everything's played out. Everything's just played out as it normally does. We're going into a bear market. We broke the bull run trend line. It looks like we're playing out in this pattern we drew back in February, right? We bounced off this support line just as we did last cycle. We hit resistance just as we did last cycle, and now we've started to break down through this white line just as we did last cycle. The question is, are we coming down to this yellow line as we did last cycle? That's the question. No one believes we can reach this. That's one of the things that's one of the reasons I still have this on the cards. Now, even I'm going to be surprised if we come down to this yellow line, but it's possible, right? it's possible. I mean, we probably need a recession. We need a recession, but if we have a recession, if stocks can come down 70%, why can't Bitcoin, right? Especially when it's underperformed gold in terms of the amount of liquidity that came in. It's possible. But yeah, we don't need to guess the price. The indicators will tell us when the bottom's in. But yeah, what do you guys think? Can we come down to 36k? Are we going to bottom at 50k? It's crazy how it's just repeated last cycle. So yeah, I don't think we're coming back. If we do come back, that means that this chart is going to be different for the first time. Because after breaking the bull run trend line, we've always come down. We've always come down. So this time would have to be different. And I would say this says to me, there's no money. The money's done here, right? The money's gone. The money's done. It's been siphoned. It's gone into meme coins. It's gone into the Trumps. It's just been siphoned by everyone. And, those who were really playing the game ended up making some profits. Look at this, 40x, 3x, 4x. Notice how they were selling at 3 and 4x's as well. Last cycle, things were going like 30x, 40x. A lot of people I noticed this cycle were taking 3x, 4x. I'm seeing that when I go into the assets and I look at the profits and losses, I'm seeing that a lot. People just going for 3 or 4x. Look at the trades as well. A lot of these are trading heavy, like buying dips and selling pumps. A lot more traders now, and bots as well. A lot of these will be using bots to trade. You get the occasional, look, 38x, probably just bought in early and held. 38x, GG's. This is more my strategy, just buy in the bear market and just hold for the bull run. Another one here, 48x, 41x. The boomers, the buy and hold boomers. And now it's no country for old men, mate. It's a trading market. So yeah, I'm really excited for next cycle, guys. Especially Nansen, we've got so much more access now to stuff. This P&L thing's quite new as well. We didn't actually have this. I don't think we even had this. I don't think we had this when we sold Pepe, when we started to take profits off Pepe. So there's so many new features on Nansen. I think we'll smash it. One thing I'm really interested in is to see what all the smart money are buying in the bear market. That's going to be a good one. Because they're really good at placing their bets on narratives. We're going to kind of understand where the narrative's going to go based on where the smart money are buying, right? If we can, I'll break it down into a pie chart and I'll say, here's where 33% of the smart money have put their money. That might be in DeFi. Maybe 21% went into AI, etc., etc. And then we'll be able to see like 2% crypto gaming, 1% privacy, and then we'll be able to phase those narratives out, right? So we'll be able to see where the smart money are placing their bets, because the smart money, you could argue, shape the market too, right? A lot of these people have huge audiences, millions of followers. Some of them are institutions, some of them are funds, right? And the cool thing about tracking the funds is when they start to buy in a bear market, they're not buying all at once. So when a fund starts to DCA, they're starting to DCA for several weeks or months, and they're going to continue to accumulate that, and then their clients are going to be interested, and they're going to be sending messages out to their clients, hey, we're really interested in Asta, we're going to start dollar cost averaging into Asta. I think the bear market is going to be phenomenal for on-chain data. Even though it's been amazing for selling, I think when we go into the bear, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal for portfolio building. And look, my target each cycle is 10x, right? You guys know what I'm trying to do. 10k to 100k, already achieved that, job done. 100k to a million, job done, I've achieved that. And then next cycle, I'm trying to turn 1 million into 10 million. And I'm trying to be conservative. We've outperformed the 10x's, right? Not by much this cycle. It wasn't by much this cycle. I'm not factoring in the stupid meme coins that I made a lot of money on as well. I'm not factoring in those. I'm just talking about the low risk assets that I got into, because I'd made like a 2000x on a meme coin, and it would be stupid to even factor that into this strategy, right? Because the strategy shouldn't be about gambling on meme coins. It should be about low risk assets like we did every cycle. The first cycle, ADA, BNB, Matic. Second cycle, Casper, Render, Solana. The third cycle is going to be mainly low risk assets that I'm trying to make most of my money on. So yeah, 1 million to 10 million is what I'm trying to do. And it could be 1 million to 20 million, right? If we have a really good cycle, I don't know if we're going to see that. I don't know if we're going to see that based off this cycle. I think a lot of things are going to change. I think we're going to have one of the worst bear markets in history for altcoins this cycle. And I think next cycle is going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard. And I think a lot of the money is going to come into the strong projects. It's only going to come into the strong projects. It's only going to come into real projects that have real, I don't know, TradFi appeal, right? We need that TradFi money. And different and specific narratives. We're always going to get narrative runs, right? And there's going to be specific narratives that are running. But yeah, I think filtering, maybe we'll do some videos on filtering on this channel because that's a key as well, right? Why didn't we buy Chainlink this cycle? I would never buy a boomer Chainlink coin, right? Why didn't we buy Ethereum this cycle? We went into Solana. We ended up massively outperforming Ethereum. A lot of people who bought Ethereum are still around break even this cycle, right? A lot of people who bought Ethereum haven't made any money, and they'll probably hold it all the way down, saying altcoin season's coming, right? All the way back down into a loss. So filtering is a key. Filtering is a big key, and you have to kind of understand the market to filter it out. But again, like I said with the smart money, it does kind of help you filter out narratives. So if you can nail down the narratives, then you can nail down the projects you need to look for. Then you have to be good at fundamental analysis. So looking at the team, what has the team worked on before? Go to their LinkedIns. Where did they used to work? What did they used to do? Have they been successful? How successful was the last business? How is the marketing strategy? Has the Twitter page been marketing all the way into the bear market? Are they working every single day? How's their engagement? Are they commenting on every post? Are they replying to comments on their posts? Are they replying to DMs? DM them. Are they getting back to you? If they don't get back to you, that means they're not monitoring their DMs. Red flag. So yeah, fundamental analysis, narratives, tracking the smart money. I think that's going to be key this bear market. And you have to think, I don't really mess this cycle up. It's a big cycle for me. And I don't want to go and put 100K into an asset that just ends up being 100K in 4 years, right? And I think it's going to be hard this cycle. And that would kill me. I mean, people say just not making a loss in crypto, but 4 years, I don't want to. You're going to be down to inflation on a 4-year play like that. So filtering is key. Look at everyone who bought Chainlink this cycle. All I keep seeing is these massive KOL accounts talking about Chainlink's going to have its moment. Look at Chainlink. It's the same price it was in 2020. It's the same price it was in 2024. Like, anyone who bought this is depressed. It's just not made any money. You've actually made a loss to inflation. And, you know, why would you buy this? This is going to have the worst next cycle, man. It's not going to, in my opinion, it's not going to push over this next cycle. After you have one of these, look at this Head and Shoulders as well, man. This is lights out, I think. I think it's going to linger around. I don't think it's going to go to zero. What's the market cap? 13 billion. It's another Uniswap play as well. I wouldn't buy. Who bought Uniswap? Like Chainlink, Sandbox, Uniswap. You need to be able to filter in this space. You need to be able to filter all this crap out and understand that new shiny coin syndrome rules. Look at most of the top performers this cycle. It came from new shiny coin syndrome. So yeah, I'm not touching any of these craps. And even to trade, like, people will trade in these. I don't get it. Why would you trade no volatility? Like, it's moving slightly up and then slightly down, and it moves so slow. Why wouldn't you trade the volatility? Like Spec. Why wouldn't you short Spec, for example? Why wouldn't you short Pepe? Why wouldn't you long Casper? Or why wouldn't you long Solana? Like, I don't get it. So yeah, some of these projects I think are going to really struggle next cycle, especially after you start making lower highs. Because looking at this on the bigger picture, look, it's just making a lower high. I could draw a downtrend here, and it's probably going to peak at that next downtrend next cycle. So we could even say maybe like $10, $15 all-time high next cycle, 4 years. Yeah, be careful with these ones. Guys, if you want to join us If you want to jump in the Discord, you want to see all my buy and sell alerts, all the trades that I'm taking, you want to see my portfolio when I start building a portfolio in 2026, I will post it here. So here's my old portfolio and stuff in this section here. You can see my portfolio there. Buy alerts when I'm buying and selling altcoins and stuff, and you can see my leverage trades here. Yeah, if you want to join us, you want to jump in the Discord, head over to my X and search for this one. Not the top one, search for this one here. And that's going to take you to Twitter. Sorry, that's going to take you to Twitter, and then jump in, press this link here. That will take you to another page where you can join the Patreon. It's a monthly fee, so you can join if it's not for you after your first month or second month or whatever. If you're not enjoying it, you can just leave, right? It's not a yearly thing. It's not a lifetime thing. But yeah, we've been smashing it. We're up to #1 on Patreon Finance now. We've been absolutely smashing it. We've made mistakes. I've definitely held some things down that I had conviction in, and took some risks here and there. But I mean, you can see here how much we've saved from risk management, right? Risk management is key, and cutting your losses, especially when you see this on-chain activity. We're in lots of shorts at the moment as well, so we're still short in the market. We started shorting Bitcoin around 110k. So yeah, if you want to join us, guys, head over there. Jump in for a month or two, see if it's for you. If it's not for you, then obviously you can just cancel your subscription. None of the information in this video is financial advice. Do your own research. Investing in crypto, investing in anything is highly risky. You can lose all of your money at any time whatsoever. So always do your own research first. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest. And yeah, until then, I'll catch you in the next one.